I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20 to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. Again, go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20.
You know, this is one of those topics that no one really wants to think about, but if you're a parent, a homeowner, married, or helping take care of aging parents, it's something that honestly deserves a little attention. I'm talking about estate planning. And before you tune out thinking it's complicated or expensive, that's actually why I want to mention Trust and Will. Trust and Will makes estate planning feel way less intimidating than it sounds. They offer modern, attorney-designed wills and trusts that you can create online. And the process is surprisingly straightforward. In fact, you can create a will in as little as 30 minutes. That includes things like guardianship for your kids or pets, how your assets are distributed, and even healthcare directives. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your loved ones with Trust and Will, the most trusted name in online estate planning. Go to trustandwill.com/future to get 20% off. That's trustandwill.com/future for 20% off. trustandwill.com/FUTURE.
Always follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Hardcore Hoops. This show is brought to you by Profit X. Right now, King of March is giving you a shot at free trips worth up to $10,000 just for betting the tournament. Download the Profit X app and use the code VSiNMM. We begin this hour going out to the Progressive guest line, longtime college basketball handicapper and bettor Bruce Marshall with Wager Talk and Gold Sheet joins the program. Hey, Bruce, good afternoon. Thanks for the time, pal. How are you?
I am good. They've already got going with the tournament, and it'll really ramp up the next few days.
Yeah, we'll get to your first-round picks that you like coming up in a minute. However, we do have the NIT, and you love digging your hands in the trash with some of these games and teams overall. St. Joe's, Colorado State, 2 decent programs, however, and the Hawks catching about 6 tonight against the Rams. What do you think here?
Yeah, I mean, St. Joe's might think it's playing on the moon tonight. They usually don't get too far out of their time zone. They had one game in the central time zone, St. Louis, but out here to the mountain time zone, this is odd for them. However, I got really disappointed in CSU at the end of the season there, Mitch. We got all excited about the Rams. They had that 8-game win streak, but they blew that game at home against Boise, and I think that really was a psychological blow to the team. The reason was they were in position, if they won that game, they would have skipped the first round of the Mountain West Tournament right into the quarterfinals. Instead, they lose that game at home. They don't play that well, and they're into the first round. They got an extra game to play in Vegas, and they were very flat, lucky to escape against Fresno. And then they just didn't have it against San Diego State. 3-point shooting was really good for these guys for most of the season. And I thought Kyle Jorgensen coming back from injury, the 6'8" forward, he really allowed them to do some great spacing. And that was great for all those shooters. And Farouk Benesh really spreads the floor well. The 3-point shooting dried up the last few games. And against San Diego State, they only made one 3-pointer. One thing St. Joe's does, they run guys, shooters on the perimeter. They only allow about 31% on 3-pointers. This is Steve Donahue. He came in there after Billy Lang took the NBA assistant job there in September. So he's sort of he was promoted there, but he'd been a head coach before at several of the programs in the East. And St. Joe's ain't all that bad. I think they got a shot to win this game, and certainly plus 5.5, 6. Yeah, I'll fly with the Hawks tonight in Fort Collins.
Great breakdown, good analysis. How about Nevada, 7.5 against Murray State?
You know, Pauly, there was a time this season that I thought Murray State was a team to beat in the Missouri Valley. I mean, they were sitting there at 16-3. High-powered offense, and they looked like they were really rolling. Again, though, sometimes these teams, you get mid-season, they start to lose their bearings, their legs go dead, and down the stretch 4-9 their last 13, and kind of out with the whimper in the Missouri Valley tournament at Arch Madness 2 weeks ago. So they don't bring a lot of momentum into Reno tonight. Again, an odd sort of trip to Reno. And I thought the Wolfpack started to look really good at the end of the season there. And one extra note here with Steve Alford, if he can make this run with the Wolfpack all the way to the Final Four. Again, it's in Indianapolis. That's, he's a hero back there from his days at Indiana. They're going to play the Final Four of the NIT at the Pacers Arena instead of Butler. But there's a motivation there for Alford to get there. I kind of like Nevada at the end of the year. I know they hit a hot Utah State, but I think if they pull away tonight from Murray State, which just didn't look like it was playing at all at the end of the season. Wolfpack tonight to Howell in Reno.
All right, let's go to the tournament. And there's a lot of games you like on Thursday. The early game, Troy catching a bunch against Nebraska. Nebraska never won a game in the tournament. Troy beat San Diego State and lost a 3-overtime thriller against USC in the non-con. What do you think with the Trojans catching all these points?
Yeah, I'm going to beat UAB too. I mean, this is an interesting side. Nebraska, though. I mean, listen, I had a 50-year-old bet here. Who would the Seattle Mariners get to the World Series first, or would Nebraska win an NCAA tournament game? No answer to that. 50 years on. So they're 49 years on. So will this be the year we get an answer? Nebraska's chance here to finally win a game. Hoiberg didn't do it 2 years ago. They got whipped by Texas A&M in the first round. I think Nebraska has got a lot to worry about here. First of all, again, we talked about teams tiring at the end of the year. Look at Price Sandifort's shooting numbers. They really started to dip toward the end of the season. Tired legs, it looked like. Nebraska, 20-0 into mid-February, 6-6 since. Now, this is a test case for a team losing momentum at the end of the season. What does it mean? Sometimes it doesn't mean a lot. Sometimes it means everything. This is a pretty long period of ineffectiveness for Nebraska. It just wasn't working the same for them. They took some heavy losses, the UCLA loss, the Purdue loss. And you mentioned Troy. Listen, that game, they should have beat USC that game. And that's when USC was good back in there, and they won that game at San Diego State. And this is Scott Cross, who has won a lot of games in his career. He's got everybody in that team can shoot threes. Low teens price, definitely Troy. I'd consider this on the money line as one of the real flyers to take in the first round.
All right, follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Bruce Marshall, longtime college basketball handicapper and bettor, our guest, and he is with Wager Talk and also the Gold Sheet. Okay, so I haven't heard one person make the case for Louisville. A couple things on this game. It's all been South Florida. The number has also come down from 6.5 to 4.5, and there's no Brown here for the Cardinals. Is South Florida still worth a bet despite the line moving 2 points?
Yeah, although some of the value's gone, but I mean, that's because Brown, now that he's scratched from this game, and he means something. I mean, and he missed some games this year, and I thought, Louisville's pattern this season started to get a little bit erratic once Brown, had that back injury, and he missed 8 games earlier, and then he's missed these last 4. They shoot a lot of threes, and that is a recipe to get knocked out early in the tournament. If you're hot, you're hot. If you're not, you're not. That's the old Charles Barkley statement. Live by the 3, die by the 3. Louisville takes so many threes. And South Florida, I'll tell you what, they roared down the stretch. Clearly the best team in the American, took care of Wichita with no problem in the finale. South Florida's live here. And I know I would rather have 6.5 than 4.5, but I would rather have 4.5 with no Brown than 6.5 with Brown in there for Louisville. Give me the Bulls.
Okay. The first person I heard make the case for St. Mary's. How about St. Mary's against A&M?
Well, here's the old tortoise and the hare analogy. And talk about pace and tempo. Buckyball only knows how to go one way, and it's up and down the court. And, all those portal ads in there. But teams started to figure out Texas A&M as the season progressed. And we saw it even in the SEC tournament when Oklahoma let them have it pretty good. So I don't know that they're going to be able to detonate that and speed up St. Mary's here. St. Mary's really hits the glass hard. They're, I think, third or fourth in the country in rebound margin, plus 11. 2 7-footers play. And that's McKeever and Wessels, but Morauskas is on NBA radar. 6'8", 19 points per game scorer, can shoot out on the perimeter. He could be a high usage guy in the NBA. I think he's going to be a late first round pick. And the other guards, I mean, Dent and Mikey Lewis have really played very well down the stretch as well. I think St. Mary's gets him here. There's people I've talked to in the West Coast Conference who think this actually might be Randy Bennett's best team. And he's had a lot of good ones, and they weren't saying that up till midseason. But the way they play down the stretch, I'd excuse the loss to Santa Clara because Santa Clara is really good.
Yeah.
The Gonzaga game, that's the one when they beat Gonzaga. That was the warning shot to the rest of the field. St. Mary's wins this game, and I think maybe handily.
Okay. And Vandy and McNeese, the 5-12. McNeese won a game last year. Can they do it again?
I don't think so, although McNeese is interesting. It's a good story. They brought Bill Armstrong back. He was assisting Will Wade. Then he went to Baylor for a year. They brought him back when Wade took the NC State job. Wade took a couple guys with him up there to Raleigh. There are a couple guys left over from that team last year, but he did a nice job in the portal. He brought in Archie from Tulsa and a freshman, Larry Johnson, who's really good. Now, everything for McNeese comes off of pressure, though, and I think this is a bad matchup for McNeese, though, because Vanderbilt could pick them apart. They take care of the ball very well. They're very good on the ball. Tyler Tanner in particular. Duke Miles, he came back a couple weeks ago. He missed about a month with that knee. It gives him a lot more athleticism and explosiveness. But the fact they take care of the ball so well, the fact they pass the ball so well, I think they will deal with what McNeese does best. And you take that away from McNeese, and the ability to disrupt the opponent. I saw McNeese back in November in person up at Santa Clara. Santa Clara did the same thing to them. They kept control of the ball. They didn't turn the ball over, and McNeese just couldn't do anything about it. Vandy does the same thing. They will stretch this margin. I'd lay the points at the doors.
Let me run this by both of you guys. And, Bruce, we have about a minute and a half left here. TNT just showed something that SMU head coach Andy Edfield, his point guard, B.J. Edwards, they said that he was going to be back for the game tonight. Now he just said that it's going to be actually a game-time decision. It's going to depend on how he feels actually before tip time. Have you done anything with this game yet, Bruce?
I made a pick, and I made a write-up with SMU. Assuming that Edwards is going to play. Darn that Andy Enfield. It's that SC thing about him. Those guys who were at SC for a while, you can't trust them, I guess. But for everything we had heard, he's probably going to play here. And that gives him, a three with Pierre and Boopy Miller. That's a good three-pronged attack in the backcourt. But even if he doesn't play, I mean, this number, maybe it'll drop a little bit. But listen, I like the Miami O story this year. And it's not necessarily inconsistent to say, yes, they belong in the tournament. But no, I don't think they're going to win this game. They were struggling with everybody in the MAC the last half of the season. SMU's a lot better than those teams. SMU's been playing in the ACC. I think Edwards is going to play tonight. That's my gut feel from what I've been told. And I think SMU extends this margin. We'll see.
Okay. Bruce, thank you. Best of luck this week.
You too, guys. Thank you.
Bruce, thank you.
That's why they made the tournament.
I know.
They thought he was coming back, and they skewed the losses.
Sure, yeah. We'll expand on that game coming up next. And teams from this conference are 12-48 straight up, 16-41-3, ATS since 2001.
Hey, let me get your attention real quick, podcast listeners. It's March, which means the madness is officially upon us, and the folks at VSiN have gone crazy with this one. For $29.99, you get unlimited access to VSiN Pro through May 1st. I'm talking picks throughout the tournament, public betting data for every single game, sharp tools, projections, articles, and more, which means every day you wait is an opportunity missed. Just click the link in the description to get started. It's March, baby. Now back to the show.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We talked about tournament trends a little bit earlier with these conferences, all available. The March Mania betting guide. Go grab it today, vsin.com/guide. Big Ten teams, 48-21 under the total. Last four tournaments. That's 69.6%, Paul. 48-21 under for the Big Ten.
Ooh.
Four
I think
seeds.
they have a good tournament.
Okay.
I like their conference wins over.
It's 16.
Yep. Good path. Good path for Purdue. You know, we feel about Michigan. Good path for Michigan. Do they win the title? I think the drought continues, but I think they should win a lot of games collectively with all these bids.
Okay, Big Ten teams. The weak spot has been 4 seeds going back. 8, 15, and 1 ATS last 24 tries. That would be Nebraska laying that many against Troy. Double-digit chalk roll. Now, Nebraska fits that, but 56 and 5 straight up, 36, 21, and 4 ATS, 63% since 1998. 7-0 straight up in ATS the last 2 years. Not only Nebraska, but you get Illinois, Michigan, Sparty, and Purdue to fit that bill. The Big 12, their tournament prop is 13.5. Big 12 teams have been awesome in the first 4 and first round games since 2017. They are 35 and 20 ATS, 64%. And there's a prop up at the Westgate here in town. Combined wins by the AAC in the Mountain West. They put it at 1, over as plus 130.
Oh, good job.
Utah State's favored against Villanova.
Yep.
AAC teams are 13 and 5 under last 18 tournaments as dogs at 72%. In their last 25 tournament games against power conference foes, 18 and 10 under. This is why it stinks to only have one Mountain West team in this tournament.
Yep.
Going back since 2001, these teams are 32 and 67 straight up, 32, 64, and 3 ATS, 33%. As dogs, and now Utah State favored in this game against Nova. As a dog, Mountain West teams are 12 and 48 straight up, 16, 41, and 3 ATS, 28% since 2001.
What a fluky year this was.
Yeah.
1 from the Mountain West, 2 from the A10, 3 from the West Coast, second time in 14 years. 2 from the MAC, first time since 99. Only 3 from the Big East. And it's too bad we only got one team to go against with the Mountain West. Although Youmans likes Utah State. He'll state the case coming up. But the history's been rough for this for Utah State, too. Forget about the Mountain West. Utah State's had a rough go of it, although they won a couple years ago.
What is your gut reaction to the West Coast Conference win total of 3.5 overs plus 130? Bruce Marshall just made his case. He really likes St. Mary's. You got St. Mary's, you got Gonzaga, and you also have Santa Clara taking on Kentucky as a small dog.
Boy, that's tough.
They are.
I think I'm going to get 2 out of Gonzaga. I did pick them Final Four. I stepped out. I think they can beat Purdue, though. But if I get 2 out of Gonzaga and that's it, I'm in trouble. I need help. Maybe I can get it. Santa Clara is popular. They have a good team. St. Mary's, small favorite. Maybe Bruce is right. They dictate tempo. I don't know. I love the program, but remember the stinker a couple years ago against Grand Canyon?
Oh, yeah.
Grand Canyon took them out. St. Mary's was the 5, and then they were down big against Vandy and rallied to win last year. They got lucky there, and it didn't go well against Alabama in the second round.
How about this? West Coast Conference teams are 7 and 15 ATS last 22 in the tournament. Well, so a lot of that's going to be Gonzaga.
Yeah.
And
well, that's the thing, though. You take out Gonzaga, St. Mary. That's the thing with the Mountain West, though. Usually, what am I seeding? I'm a 12. I'm an 11. I'm a 10. I'm a 9.
Well, okay.
I can't do better than that. So I'm going to run into trouble if I win a game.
I will point this out. File this one away in the West Coast Conference if Santa Clara or St. Mary's wins their first round game. Because teams in this conference are 2 and 14 straight up, 4 and 12 ATS, their last 16 tournament games against top 3 seeds. And so, in theory, then Santa Clara, if they would beat Kentucky, they get Iowa State. It just hasn't gone well for teams in that spot in the conference, and that could be something to definitely monitor anyway.
Did you mention the Big Ten thing as a dog? Did you see what he had on that?
I did. I don't think I mentioned it, though.
How will this come into play?
Oh, yeah, I see it right now. I did not mention that.
For as good as Big Ten teams have been in the big favorite role, they've been brutal as dogs of 5.5 points or more. 6 and 58 straight up, 34% ATS since 1998. 0 and 5 straight up, 1 and 4 ATS a year ago. File this away, second round or deeper.
They're
going to be that big of a dog, though, in some of these games?
Well,
But
eventually, the later it goes, maybe.
Man, that's nuts. How bad they've been in that spot. That's crazy.
Well, and here's another thing, too. So the Big Ten against mid-major teams last 3 years, 18-2 straight up, 17-3 ATS. 17-3 against the spread against the mid-majors, 26-7 under the last 33 such games. Tonight's action, we'll find out more about Edwards, I guess. They just announced that on TNT, going to be a game-time decision the way it looks, depending on how he feels in the warm-ups.
Bruce is right, but they won all those 2-point games late, but the nerves got to them and also the pressure of going undefeated. I think they can come in there absolutely loose here and let it fly and let it rip and show why they average 92 points a game. I think Miami O should be loose.
I totally agree. Keep in mind,
that's it. Yeah, they had the loss. They're coming off a loss. They didn't play well. But in that loss, they were up 9 with 7 minutes, and then all hell broke loose. So it's a great opponent for them to take on. The SMU doesn't defend. They lost 5 of the last 6. 3 of them were to non-tournament teams. It's a great matchup for Miami, Ohio.
Yep. Top of my head, I can think of some pretty epic drives that I've made in my life. The PCH up and down the state of California. Pretty awesome. I recommend it to try it once in your life. The drive from Phoenix to Flagstaff, Arizona. Very cool. Completely changes. I've never made the drive from Miami of Ohio to Dayton, but I understand it's about an hour. This is going to be all Redhawks fans.
Yep.
Right? And because there's also that tied into, when you look at Haslam metrics, SMU is a bottom 50 team in away from home numbers. Doesn't that factor into this game tonight?
Yeah, it didn't go well down the stretch.
Not at all.
Lost at Syracuse, blown out at Stanford, lost at Cal. Every big opportunity down the stretch, and they couldn't do it on the road. And I mentioned the lost 5 or 6. The win was Syracuse in the ACC tournament. So it's Greg Hoops Peterson jumped on this right away on Selection Sunday. He thought the 8.5 was crazy, and I am concerned though. Just don't go out there and have a strong showing. Because I'm worried that if they're blown out, then it's a referendum on every little guy moving forward, if they have this type of resume moving forward.
Yeah.
Because this is, you could say, show me. If I go 30-2, 29-2, something like that, 31-1, that I will get the benefit of the doubt and get in. Not assuming you're undefeated through the regular season. But there was a Stephen F. Austin one year. There was a Murray State one year. I don't want whatever happens tonight to affect teams moving forward that aren't in the top mid-major leagues, like the MAC and stuff like that, and maybe Missouri Valley, whatever. I would just think common sense will prevail no matter what happens tonight, because I know that was the talking point. I referenced it at the top of the show. People were very concerned about Boise State when they played Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl. Like, this is it. This is their only chance. If they don't look good, that's it. They'll never get the opportunity again. And then they won the game, and they were awesome.
Yep.
So I'm really rooting for them here that we have a competitive game and what should be a high-scoring game, too, when you look at all the numbers.
As always, tonight's going to be a great night to stay off of X, because if it's a bloodbath and Miami doesn't look good and they're carried out, people are going to be they cannot wait to scream it from the mountaintops. Why were they in the tournament?
Yeah, but I agree with what Bruce said, though, too. We can agree that they should be in the tournament because they didn't lose a game, but they're also not that good. I mean, that's fair, too.
But Paul, people will not say that.
Well, I mean, again, who are you making a case for, all right? If I don't want to hear from Bruce Pearl, but, I mean, other than that, you keep a one win, one game over 500 Auburn team or whatever.
Can I talk you into the first team to 10, 15, or 20 in this game, and that being Miami as the dog? They are excellent offensively. Mm-hmm. And now Edwards, I don't know about Edwards. Nobody does at this point, if he's going to play in the game or not.
Yeah.
But why not? They come out loose, like you said. I think that has to be the approach to the game.
A lot of time off.
They're great at shooting the basketball. Yep. They got a bunch of dudes who can fill it up. If they're hot, first at 10, 15, 20. Now, again, you can lose all 3. You can split, or you can maybe win all 3.
Yep. There's some big payouts on this game. If these guys, 95 points combined, 13-1, both teams to score 100, 25-1, both teams to score 90, 60-1. This could be, if I get a frenetic pace too, this could put Howard and BC to shame, UMBC. And that paid 9-1 last night. Juice Reel links all your sportsbook accounts, imports your bets, and gives you automatic tracking and analytics, and it's completely free in the app. Everyone's bet history is synced directly from the books. No line about profits. You're as good as your record says you are. They rank every bettor, and you can see exactly what the best bettors in the community have their money on. If you're the sharp, you get paid when others follow your picks and win. Download Juice Reel today. It's free. REEL. Get it today. Juice Reel.
Matt Youmans on the program coming up next. He has a ton of best bets in the first round. Find out who he likes coming up.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
It's good to have you on board. We're live in Vegas for the Madness. Circuit Resort and Casino is the spot. We go out to the Progressive guest line. VSiN host Matt Youmans joins the program now. Great write-up on the website, vsin.com. A ton of plays that he likes for the first round of the tournament. Matt, let's begin here. We were just rattling off how awful and ugly it's been for the Mountain West going back a good quarter century. San Diego State's run changed that a little bit a couple years ago, but for the most part, it has been vile and nasty. So what did you do with Utah State and Villanova in that 8-9 matchup?
Yeah, the Mountain West definitely down this year, there's no doubt about it. But the Big East was too. And Villanova, if you watch the Big East tournament, got punked by Georgetown, lost that game by 14. I don't think this Villanova team's anything special. It's an advantage for Utah State to play this game in familiar territory in San Diego. And I like the veteran guards for Utah State. M.J. Collins, Mason Falslev, I think they're going to be enough to carry Utah State to the win here. And it's interesting, too, when you look at home road splits for teams where you're trying to handicap who's going to play well on neutral courts. The best records on neutral courts for tournament teams this season: Arizona 7-0, Purdue 7-0, Utah State 6-0. So I don't have that much concern about the Aggies performing in San Diego.
Good analysis. All right. How about Queens? Catching all these points, and I think this will be a common theme with some of your plays where you expect a hangover against the team they're playing coming off a big conference tournament run.
Yeah, you look at that every year, and those teams that win the Power Conference tournaments have to play 3 games in 3 days, or in Purdue's case, 4 games in 4 days, have to have a hangover. Might be fatigued as well. And Purdue's getting a lot of support in the betting market right now off that Big Ten tournament win. A lot of people saying they rediscovered themselves, preseason #1 team, watch out. Well, let's just handicap this game. Matt Painter is going to have a big lead at some point, you would assume. He's going to want to rest his starters in the second half and prepare for that second-round game against Miami or Missouri. And this Royals team, Queens out of North Carolina, is going to play. They're going to sign up for all 40 minutes here. They got 6 double-figure scorers.
Yep.
They shoot lots of threes. They got guys who can score. Hey, look, they were blown out early in the season against Arkansas, Auburn, Villanova, Virginia, Wake Forest. That was a long time ago. And this team's playing much better now. I think this is going to be a 90-70 type of game. This 25.5 line's too high.
I agree. I'm with you. Same thing, Hawaii and Arkansas?
Well, yeah, Arkansas put a lot into winning that SEC tournament in Nashville. And they spent the last few days celebrating, hearing how great they are. And now they got to travel to Portland to play a Hawaii team they probably don't have a lot of respect for, but don't know a lot about, obviously. But the Rainbow Warriors, I think, can hang in this game. And Darius Acuff is going to be a challenge for Hawaii, but this is a big number of 15.5. And I think the hangover is going to be a factor here. She might want to look at Hawaii first half as well. But Hawaii is a well-coached team, solid on the defensive end of the floor. And they've got a big lineup. Hawaii starts 7 foot, 6'9", 6'8", 6'6", 6'3", and their 6'6" senior guard Dre Bullock is a dynamic athlete who can hang with Acuff here. So I think there's a lot of points, and Hawaii's going to hang around.
Okay, this also applies in the St. John's game as they're taking on Northern Iowa. Northern Iowa's been very popular. I know that you're on them. Does that scare you at all?
That was one of the first bets I made was Northern Iowa plus 11.5, and I'm seeing it's down to 9.5 on a lot of spots. But you know what? There's always going to be popular dogs. You just have to stick with the ones you like the most, and not worry too much. Some of those are going to win, some are not. But I'm not worried about Panthers being a hot dog here. I think this is a tough assignment for Rick Pitino and the Red Storm. Off that Big East tournament win, that UConn game was their Super Bowl. They wanted to win that so bad.
Uh-huh.
They win it. Mm-hmm. Now they get shipped to San Diego, and they got to play the Missouri Valley champs, who are tough and who are going to play at a slow pace. You look at Northern Iowa, 24th in defensive efficiency, and how about this, number 363 in tempo? That's out of 365 teams. That's from Ken Palm. they're going to turn this game into a grinder, reduce possessions, shorten the game. That's the formula for the underdog. I think the Red Storm, who I have going to the Final Four, and I bet them going to the Sweet 16 at plus 110, I think the Red Storm are going to have to sweat this one out.
North Dakota State, good from three, deep, 6 guys can score. How about all those points against Sparty?
Yeah, it's the same thing I looked at with the Summit League championship team. The issue I have here is they never stepped up in class. Bison never stepped up in class this season, so we didn't get to compare them against any elite opponents. But they have good size on the front line, shoot 36.5% from three, and I think they can give the Spartans a little bit of a fight here. Look, Michigan State goes through scoring droughts. Jeremy Fears, Cohen Carr are going to carry the Spartans to a win eventually here, but the more I look at this game, I just see it being a Michigan State by 10, 12, 14, something like that. I'm going to take the 16.5 with North Dakota State.
Follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. VSiN host Matt Youmans, our guest. You can also read his write-up on all of his bets in the first round at the website, vsin.com. Mike Palm came on last hour, made his case for Clemson. You're on Iowa, though. Why?
Well, Mike Palm's from Iowa, and I think he's a cynic about the Hawkeyes, right?
Yeah.
And, I understand that. But I like this Hawkeyes team. Bennett Sturtz, the senior guard, who's one of the best guards in college basketball. And if you look at this Iowa team, it's well-rounded. They defend. They shoot it well. Tell me this matters in a close game. Iowa shoots 77% from the free throw line. That's one of the best marks in the country. And they have a lot of experience on this team. They played a lot of close games against elite opponents. Tigers, I don't think they're going to be punked here. But this is not one of Coach Brad Brownell's best teams at Clemson. I wasn't really impressed by the way they played in the ACC tournament in general. And I will say that you guys have probably talked about this, but Big Ten teams went 8-0 against the spread in last year's first round. And I think started last year's tournament 10-0 ATS. I expect Iowa to get the win here behind Bennett Sturtz. This is a well-coached team. They're going to slow the pace, and they're going to find a way to win it.
All right, one Big Ten team that you're not on, though, the way it looks, is going to be Nebraska. Pauly and I are both on Troy as well. Why are you fading the Cornhuskers?
This is the absolute first bet I made Sunday. Was Troy plus 14. Numbers come down a little bit, but not that much. I just talked about Iowa being a well-coached team. Troy's an exceptionally well-coached team. And if you don't know much about them, they're the Sun Belt champs. Scott Cross is their coach. He's really, really good. And I remember watching this team early in the season, and Troy beat San Diego State 108-107 in double overtime. That was in San Diego. 2 days later, lost 107-106 in triple overtime at USC. Troy, I think here is I thought should be about a 10-point dog. I made the number like 10, 10.5, so I took 14. But the problem with Nebraska, which has never won an NCAA tournament game, is not history. It's the fact that Cornhuskers have been fading down the stretch. They were 20-0, 6-6 in their last 12 games, nowhere near playing their best basketball. Purdue punked Nebraska easily in the Big Ten tournament. I think Troy could be live to win this game, so this is one double-digit dog I really like.
All right, and how do you want to deal with the issues at Alabama? You think Hofstra's live here?
I think Hofstra and Troy are both live to win the game as big dogs.
All right.
And again, you take Aiden Holloway out of that Alabama lineup, and that's a big deal. He's probably their second best player. 16.8 points, 44% from three. He's the top shooter by 3-point percentage. And Hofstra is a 24-win team that shoots it well. 37% from three, 74% free throws. And they have a lead guard, Cruz Davis, 20 points a game, 40% from three, who can take advantage of Holloway's absence here. Hofstra 11-1 in the last 12 games, won big road games against Pitt and Syracuse in December. And not only is a Holloway absence going to be a big deal, that's a big distraction for that team this week. So Hofstra, Troy, a couple of the big dogs I like the most.
Matt, I made my case yesterday to bet a prop that is 22-3 under the listed number. That was at the Westgate anyway, at 45.5, and that is largest margin of victory in the first round. What do you make of that?
I heard you talk about that yesterday in your show, and I said, that sounds too good to be true. That's unreal. And I looked it up last night, and I said, I'm playing this too. I played under 45.5. Hey, the biggest favorites in the first round, Arizona and Michigan, are each laying 31 points. And again, it gets back to these top seeds. When they get a big lead, in the first round, why would you want to beat a team by 50? You got to rest your starters. There's no need to win by 45, 50 points. And I was surprised this number is this high. I thought, Mitch, it was going to be right around 40.5. I feel like you're getting extra points here. This is not the women's tournament where teams are going to win by 60.
Yeah.
So I like that prop quite a bit.
Good job. Yeah. Good luck. Thanks for a few minutes. Good luck.
Okay. You bet. Thanks.
He's got more. He's got a plethora of plays up. Read the article, VSiN.com. We retweeted it. They retweeted it. It's all up there. And he's got props. He's got futures. He's got more games he likes. He's on the Bulls as well. Check it out, VSiN.com. We're brought to you by ProfitX. King of March gives you a shot at free trips worth up to $10,000. Win 10 pregame spreads or totals across the tournament. Hit your volume goal and you're in. 1,000 in volume. You're entered for the 5K trip. 10,000 enters you for the 10K trip. Flights, hotels, your choice of destination, all on ProfitX. Download the app. Use code VSiNMM. Compete to become the King of March only on ProfitX. Code VSiNMM. King of March, ProfitX. Get it now.
Let's follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, live in Vegas. Circa Resort and Casino is your spot. Up next, we'll recap our bets from last night and tell you what we've added to the accounts in pocket plays here on VSiN.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3-to-1 odds. Nope. 5-to-1. Nope. 10-to-1. You're on.
Jason Benetti in for Brian Anderson tonight. What a way to start the tournament. He got sick. And you heard it last night on the game with Vitale and Barkley. So already we have a man down this early.
That sucks for him.
Oh, what a time to get sick.
Brutal, man.
Before the big dance. How am I going to say if his voice sounds like that now? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Not good.
Unfortunate.
Georgia money line against St. Louis. St. Louis started 24-1, faded down the stretch, several blowout losses. I'm with Youmans, Hawaii plus all those points against Arkansas, Northern Iowa against St. John's, Wright State against Virginia. Wright State can score. I think that's too many points. Buzzer beater for the entire tournament at Will Hill Caesars, no minus 140. Total games to go to overtime, the entire tournament, 3.5, under minus 130. I also like Queens, too. Put that in that's in the betting guide, though. To some NBA tonight. This is big for the Lakers. This will determine the tiebreaker. The Lakers have won 9 of 10. It's the baseball series against the Rockets. Also, if you can grab that early number, see what's available, because they immediately have to go out and they play Miami tomorrow. Horrible spot. But Durant said, put this on me. I was lousy in the second half. I think the Rockets respond. Short price on the money line. Lakers have the tiebreaker if they win tonight over Houston, Minnesota, and Denver. Pelicans money line. Murray will play, battling the flu. He has been awesome since he came back from the Achilles injury, and Kawhi unlikely to play. And last check, Mathurin was out for the Clippers. Queens plus all those points against Purdue, and Troy plus all those points against Nebraska. Good luck.
All right, here's the logic behind the play last night. Texas and NC State to each score 80-plus points at plus 180. That was basically a pick'em, and the total was around 160. So at plus 180, the thought was, well, clearly split that number in half. The team total on each side, and I know it came down a little bit after I bet it, but was around 80 each, maybe a little bit shy of that. Never even came close. The 16 seeds last night looked like they belonged in the tournament.
Absolutely.
Those two teams look like they should be playing in the NIT.
Oh, that was a good game.
Oh, the first game was excellent.
I couldn't believe how sloppy and a tough watch the second game was.
Pending a new plays here. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm on Queens. I'm on Troy. I'm on Penn plus the points. I got Penn and Illinois over 148.5. I got Santa Clara plus the 4 against Kentucky. Mm-hmm. And I have Miami First to 10 plus 135, first to 15 plus 138, first to 20 plus 154 tonight. Come on, boys. Let's get off to a hot start against SMU. Maybe Edwards misses the game. Who knows? They announced that about 45 minutes ago. It's going to be a game-time decision for SMU, and the sum of all seeds to make the Final Four under 9.5, minus 130 on that bad boy.
Okay. More props on that game. 100 points. Each team 25-1, 96-1, 95, 13-1. One I didn't mention, 50 points each half, both teams, 200-1. 45 is 30-1.
It'll be the game of the tournament if either one of those comes in.
Yeah, that's right. Download the free Upside app. Use code NETWORK. Start earning real cash back on gas, groceries, and dining. Just open the Upside app and claim a cash back offer at a location near you. Shop as usual and earn real cash back. You can cash out directly to your bank account, PayPal, or gift cards. Over 5 million users already earning. One of the easiest ways to save on everyday purchases. Download the free Upside app now and use code NETWORK. Get 25 cents back per gallon on your first tank. Offers vary by user and location. See Upside.com for details. Stuff you buy every day. Use it. Head to the location. Make your purchase and save. Your earnings your way. Big savings. Upside app. Code NETWORK.
Let me point out a couple of tournament props. There is at least one offshore book, one prominent offshore book. They're very good on social media. You've probably seen them posting stuff in years past. You might get an email on it. Who knows? But they offer, and look, I don't check every book. I don't have, you might have a local that has this as well. You can reach out to a sports book. They might post it. I wish more books would post all this stuff. But the highest combined points prop between two teams in the round of 64 this year is 189.5. 180 in previous years, that has been as low as 179.5, maybe even a little bit lower than that. Last year was 182.5. In 2022, it was 185.5. Anyway, if that's the universal number that's out there, that's 13-2 under 189.5 since 2010. Last year, the highest scoring game in the first round was Alabama over Robert Morris, 90-81. Now, the year before that, 2 games went over. 2010 was the last year before then that actually went over 189.5. That's when Jimmer had 37 and BYU beat Florida 97-92. This is another great one. The lowest point total by any team in the round of 64, posted at 44.5 this year. Last year was 45.5. The year before that, 47.5. Now that seems like it's almost impossible. Like, again, gut reaction, you're going to be like, every team's going to score at least 45, 46, 48 points. Well, I will tell you that if the number was 47.5 this year, that prop is 13-2 under that number since 2010. You get a lot of bombs, a lot of stink bombs every year in the first round. Mm-hmm. Last year, it actually went over. But you've had teams score in the 30s multiple times in the last 15. The 30s!
Yeah.
You've had teams score 40, 41, almost every single year. And this is another doozy. The lowest combined points by two teams. Typically, it's been about 102.5. Last year was 106.5. This year, 109.5. 13-2 under 109.5 last 13 years. Again, how do you have a game below 109.5 combined points? Well, here's how. In 2024, Texas beat Colorado State 56-44. The year before that, Pitt and Iowa State played in a game that was 59-41. Ohio State beat Loyola Chicago 54-41. I mean, I could go on every single year. It's just something's going to happen tomorrow or Friday. It's going to be on the screen wherever you are watching it, and you're like, what is happening in this game? How is it? It's 38-36 with 8 minutes left? How? But that usually takes place.
Why did it take so long before people realized, hey, let's not have these games start at the same time? I was thinking about that today because when we showed the picture of the old days when you were at school, they bring in the TV on the stand and, the VCR setup. Okay, guys, watch the games today, Thursday, Friday. And then they had the March Madness package that you would buy,
right,
as well. Because you needed it. It was crazy. Why would the games tip off at the chunk of 4? all at the same time.
Sure.
CBS always did a horrible job of walking the dog,
right.
too.
But back then, Paul, you could also only watch one game at a time. There was no multi-view. And that's the thing. Remember that back in like the late 90s, they would tease us by going to a multi-box on the screen. And we're like, oh my God, this is the best thing of all time. I can watch all four at the same time right now, please, for 10 seconds. Okay, now we got to take you back to your game region. What? What are you doing?
Couldn't believe it. I was a sophomore in college. Coppin State beat South Carolina. I saw like 30 seconds because I was stuck with the local game because Wisconsin was playing. Like this, at that time, it was like only the third time it had happened.
Well,
something like that. And I saw nothing.
It's another pet peeve. It's like, we're contractually obligated to keep you on this game until it's officially over with. Meanwhile, the score is 95-49. Come on, guys. It's been over with since the first half. Go to the next game, please. Nope, sorry. Contract says we got to stick with it. It's maddening.
Mm-hmm.
So I would. Miami is 80-1 to make the Sweet 16. Why can't they win this game tonight? SMU is in horrendous form.
Absolutely.
Who do they get next? Who's the 6 waiting for them? I don't have that memorized.
Tennessee. Winnable game.
Yeah,
then Virginia.
Tennessee stinks.
Can beat Virginia. Yeah. Sure.
Now.
BYU too short against Texas? Short number.
Oh, boy, I don't trust BYU.
No. I like how they defended in the Big. They showed some defense in the Big 12 tournament.
Yeah.
That was good.
Tennessee will, I think, force their will on whoever wins this game tonight, though, and make it a very ugly game. Because that's all Tennessee really knows how to play, is look away, I'm hideous style of basketball.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a great feeling to have it here. By the way, Lehigh and A&M right now tied at 11.
Has there been a whistle? I mean, it stopped? I haven't seen a commercial yet. We're 9 minutes in?
I haven't been paying attention.
I don't think there's been a commercial. We haven't had the media timeout yet, under 16.
Stay tuned. VSiN Primetime coming up next. 4 hours of live betting. Femi Abebefe, along with Will Hill tonight, leading into cashing out with Dustin. Good luck with the bets tonight. We'll see you.